All right, now we'll move all the props out of the way and come to lie down on the mat on our backs. And from here, as you come to lie down, take a moment to get situated, just organize all the parts of your body, place your feet in a way that's comfortable. You could relieve any tilt in your pelvis. Untuck your chin and just notice what flat feels like. From here, bring your left knee towards your chest. You could interlace your hands on the front of the knee, bringing it close. And rock your knee across the midline, bringing it towards the floor on the right side. Finding a long twist, maybe pushing anything out of the way, maybe reaching your arm overhead in the opposite direction from your toes. Just kind of wringing your body out organically. Watching out for anything in your space that might be in the way. And adjusting as needed to twist on the other side. Maybe going long on the mat before bringing the right knee towards your chest for a small hug. And then rocking it across the midline to reach for the floor on the other side of your body. The right hand could reach overhead, growing long from your hip to your pinky fingertip. You could bend at the elbow, reaching, scraping through space, bringing your elbow towards the floor, using maybe the other elbow to press into the floor to create that twist for you. Whatever feels good in your space and your body, make this twist yours. Nice. From here, if you have a block handy, I encourage you to bring it along for support, but you don't have to have one. I'll offer a fish pose. So if you'd like to hop into fish pose from your current position, you can bend both knees, placing both feet on the floor, and begin to puff up your belly, kind of tilting your pelvis forward, making air underneath your lumbar, maybe even kind of walking your shoulder blades towards your hips as your belly button kind of squishes up towards the ceiling, if that makes sense. Nice. So we've created a bit of an arch in the low back. We can even begin to kind of roll onto the top of the head, pressing into the elbows and letting the hands just kind of go where they will. They could rest on the ribs or act like fins on the belly of a fish, maybe kind of pointed towards the ceiling. So here we're just using the strength of our elbows, gripping into the mat and rolling onto the top of the head just a bit to create this back arch. Takes a little bit of effort. And come out just as carefully as you went in as you're ready. If you'd like to try this with a more supported variation, if you have blocks available, I'll show you that option first. You can bring a block onto its kind of medium setting by placing the long, skinny edge of the block along your spine and letting that bottom corner come to, I don't know, a couple inches beneath your armpits. Ladies, it would be about where your bra strap is, if that's accessible mentally in your imagery. So we'll lay over that, and then you can bring another block along, maybe on its lowest setting or setting of your choice, we'll say, or a pillow for a little support behind the head. As you can see, there's a good amount of space between the floor and the lumbar here. and the thoracic spine. So all the vertebrae attached to your rib cage are supported by the block behind you. And then your arms can kind of just fold open if you'd like, kind of cactus arm style. You can let them hang in space, letting gravity do some work for you, bringing elbows towards the floor. Or you can bring those elbows to connect with the mat alongside your waist on each side. And again, kind of use that gripping point. Imagine squeezing the block between your shoulder blades behind you. Maybe coming on to, I don't know, kind of somewhere between the back and the top of your head. Maybe looking up. Just using that support to practice your fish pose. Noticing the breath spill over the belly. All right, you can stay there if that's your jam. Or one more option, you might play with this on your own later or revisiting the recording or before you go to bed. You can do this in bed. Take your blanket, take your towel, whatever you're working with, and just create a little roll. Okay, so just a little roll, nothing fancy, doesn't have to be perfect in any sense. And just like the block, we'll let that be about where a bra strap might land or the space just under the armpits. Just letting the spine kind of spill over with a little softer support. And this is a much more restorative variation of fish pose if you choose to take this. So make this yours. If you're finished with back bending, great. Come on down, experience flatness again. We'll meet you there shortly. And as you are finished with your variation of fish pose, whether supported or otherwise, my best advice for how to come out is to roll to your side. Whether you're tumbling off of your block or kind of reeling off of your rolled up blanket, or just unsquishing yourself from the strong support with no props. Roll onto your side to come out of that fish pose. And from here, we'll practice bridge again, coming onto a long, flat spine with knees bent. The feet can connect with the floor. You can choose to let this be supported or not. If you'd like support, bring that block or whatever you're working with for support beneath the hips. As you're ready, press into both feet, inhaling to lift the hips. Tuck your chin, letting the back of your neck be long. You can stay here and breathe, or bring your block under your hips for support. Maybe noticing the inflating and deflating of your belly and chest with each breath. You might choose to stay here or lift one leg in the air. If supported, you might choose to press into your standing foot, creating space between you and your block, noticing the change with only one foot for support. As you're ready, bring that lifted foot to the floor. Reconnect with your supportive surface. And choose to lift the other foot as you're ready. You can stay here and float. Or you might press into your standing leg again. Lifting from your support, noticing the difference between sides. Pressing into shoulder blades for extra lift. And bring your foot down to meet its mate as you're ready. Again, reconnecting with your support if you have it. All right, if you're practicing bridge just with your strength, bring your hips back down to the floor. If you're supported with a block under your hips, you can stay right where you are. As you're ready, we'll just lift the feet for waterfall. You can bring your awareness to your thoughts, imagining your distractions spilling over your feet like a waterfall, maybe pouring over your face gently as you smile and remember your breath. Take any organic movements, maybe playing with your toes and feet dangling in space. You can stay where you are in supported waterfall or just with your feet in the air. You could choose to turn and face a wall, allowing your feet to have some support as you keep them lifted. If you have shoulder stand in your practice, that's an option here as well. Letting your arms and shoulders become the support under your spine and hips. I'll offer you to try that now if that's in your practice, but I won't offer much guidance for it because it's unique to each body and there's a lot of care to be taken in shoulder stand. So only if you're comfortable and confident in your shoulder stand do I invite you to take that now. I'll show you mine and we'll just leave it at that. I like to move a block before practicing shoulder stand. We really want to be on the shoulders here, not so much on the neck. And that's sort of something for you to feel out on your own. So please know that there's no right or wrong for practicing shoulder stand or not. You can come into and out of it as you're comfortable doing so and feel safe. And last but not least, we'll wrap up with Shavasana, or final resting pose. I encourage you to take the time to arrange your body, let your spine become flat on the mat. You could lift your hips from the mat and tuck your tail and allow your sacrum to be flat on the mat as well. You might choose to step your feet wide and let your knees fall towards center. Or extend your heels along the mat, becoming long. It could feel nice to place one hand on your belly and one hand on your chest and just notice the flow of your breath. Have a conversation with your breath, with your body. Using that tactile feedback for information. You could choose to blink your eyes closed. Drape one or both arms over them if that's comforting. And begin to tune in to the sounds in your body. The sound of your breath as it fills up your lungs. And the sounds in your space around you. Maybe the sound of your exhale swirling around as you let it go. Notice the textures and temperatures available to your skin. You could notice the tingling behind your eyelids if applying gentle pressure there with hand or arm. Take 3 of the most nourishing breaths you've had yet today. You get to decide what that means for you. Stay here as long as you'd like, tuned in to your experience, your thoughts. You might choose to connect your thumbprints and center and send your fingertips in opposite directions for your Garuda Mudra. Laying both palms on your chest with those connected fingertips as though to lay wings over your breastplate. You could say to yourself, I am courageous. You could breathe in courage. You could breathe out courage. Make it yours. And as you're ready, take any final movements or hugs or caresses that your body craves from yourself. You could turn to one side and make a pillow and rest in a sweet fetal position for another moment or two. Maybe come up with 3 moments from this practice that you're grateful for. Maybe something that felt good. Maybe something that surprised you. Maybe something you'll try again. As you're ready, connect your handprint with the mat. Notice the texture and temperature there. Press into that support and find your seat. Take your time. Notice upright. You could choose to take your Garuda Mudra one more time and seal this practice, resting both hands on your chest, noticing your heartbeat and your breath. Maybe sighing to yourself. And with that, I thank you. I hope to see you again soon. Please take care.